Have increased sevenfold in the U.S. over the past week. Health officials worried about the winter for those who refuse to get vaccinated. Hospitals are filling up. ABC's Morgan Norwood says doctors and nurses are burned out.
On the front lines, healthcare workers pushed to the brink, dealing with the dominant Delta variant, all while fearing the impact that Omicron could bring.
I just want people to make good decisions and be careful, because it's not fun to say goodbye to your family member garbed up with a mask on and eyewear and gloves.
It comes after a warning from top health officials who say Omicron significantly reduces antibody protection after just 2 doses of Pfizer and Moderna vaccines. The silver lining, booster shots mostly restore peak protection, lowering the need for an Omicron-specific vaccine. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Pro sports leagues seeking outbreaks. Dozens of players in the NBA, the NFL, and the NHL are affected. More strong storms in the Midwest overnight. That sound from Glenwood, Nebraska. They were suspected tornadoes, but none as bad as the ones that rocked Kentucky and several other states earlier this week. There were nearly 500,000 power outages in Wisconsin and other states in this most recent batch of storms. ABC's Ike Kajachi.
The wild weather is being fueled by record temperatures, 30 to 40 degrees above normal in some areas. And now these storms are taking aim at the region slammed by last weekend's tornadoes. The National Weather Service says the tornado that destroyed Mayfield, Kentucky, packed winds up to 190 miles per hour, leaving at least 75 people dead across the state.
President Biden visited Kentucky yesterday. First Lady Jill Biden was in Waukesha, Wisconsin, meeting with some of those who were lost in the Christmas parade ramming a few weeks ago. The Federal Reserve announcing it will be raising interest rates next year. That'll make borrowing more expensive. The hope is it will help ease inflation. You're listening to ABC News.
Do you want to be a hero for the holidays? How about getting your loved one a new iPhone? That's right. Pure Talk has iPhone 12 starting at just $479 through the end of the year. And sure, they have 13s too. Switch to Pure Talk. Great nationwide 5G coverage. Yes, the same coverage as the big guys, but the average family saves over $800 a year. Now that's just smart. There's no need to overpay for Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile. Plus, with Pure Talk's 30-day risk-free guarantee, you've got nothing to lose. Unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data is just $30 a month. And like I said, the iPhone 12, just $479. From your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say Jill 50, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Plus, save on a new phone. That's pound 250, say Jill 50. Pure Talk is simply smarter wireless. Some restrictions apply. See site for details.
4 children have died, several more badly hurt after a bounce house suddenly flew into the air in Tasmania. It's in Australia. Tasmania Police Commissioner Darren Hine.
Police and emergency services were called to the scene around 10 a.m. this morning after a wind gust had reportedly caused the jumping castle and inflatable Zor balls to lift into the air.
Witnesses say the bouncy castle was about 30 feet off the ground when the children fell out. The kids, all in grade 6, meaning they're likely around 10 or 11 years old. They were taking part in celebrations for their last day of school. The White House today looking to get supply chains moving by getting more truck drivers on the road. Here's ABC's Lina Moise.
President Biden created a supply chain task force back in June, and now the focus over the next few months will be expanding the trucking industry in the U.S. and creating more jobs. The White House says the administration will host events and work with trucking companies and other partners to expand registered trucking apprenticeships and also do veteran-focused recruitment. Officials will work to reduce barriers to getting a commercial driver's license and to support current truck drivers nationwide. Lionel Moise, ABC News.
This afternoon, President Biden will present the Medal of Honor to 3 soldiers who all served in the war in Iraq. One of them, Alwyn Cash, will be the first African-American to receive the Medal of Honor since Vietnam. This is ABC News.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Navage, Navage.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
The reasons more and more people are coming to NC Tractor to do business are the selection of Massey Ferguson tractors, Bobcat zero-turn mowers, fantastic customer service, and the special Phil Sheehan seasonal discounts. NC Tractor on Railroad Avenue in Rutherford is making dreams come true for folks who want the rest.
Good morning and happy Thursday. We're seeing some patchy low cloud cover as well as some patchy fog for your morning commute. Otherwise, we'll see a mostly clear start to your day. We'll see a mostly sunny to partly cloudy afternoon with highs today on the warmer side. They'll be in the mid to upper 60s, around 70 this afternoon. Partly cloudy overnight tonight. Will be in the upper 40s and low 50s Friday morning. The clouds will be on the increase Friday afternoon with highs in the upper 60s and low to mid 70s. Rain showers likely this weekend. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
Hello, my friends. It is 7:05 here on this Thursday morning. The temperature reading is 38 degrees, and it looks like the next rainfall is coming here maybe Saturday night, and there's a 50-50 chance of that happening on Saturday, then 50% Saturday night, and clearing out of here again for Sunday. On Sunday, it looks like partly cloudy skies, highs around 56. We're past, once we get past today, we're past tomorrow, we're past the 70-degree something weather. Friday and Saturday should be in the 70s, but then Sunday it starts dropping back down to 50s, in the 50s. So that's where we are right now. Right now, 38 degrees. Beautiful, great getting up morning here on this tremendous Thursday morning. So glad you've joined us. Thank you for making WCAB your radio station of choice for the holidays. Now I have these death announcements. Janice Laws Dyer, age 63, of Rutherfordton, passed away Tuesday, December 14th at Spartanburg Regional Medical Center. Funeral arrangements are pending and will be announced by Harrelson Funeral Home for Janice Laws Dyer. Grace Melton Black, 89, died Tuesday, December 7th at Rutherford Regional Health System. A service to celebrate her life will be held at 2 o'clock Tuesday, December 28th at First United Methodist Church of Forest City, with Reverend Bill Perry officiating. Burial following the church Columbrian. Mass will be required at the service for the safety of those attending. The service will be live streamed on the Facebook page of First United Methodist Church or the church's YouTube channel. Paget and King Mortuary, serving the family of Grace Melton Black. Harold Baynard, age 65, of Spindale, passed away Saturday, December the 11th at his residence. Those arrangements are pending at this time and will be announced by Harrelson Funeral Home for Harold Baynard of Spindale. Marvin Edward Richard, age 94, of Davidson, North Carolina, passed away December 9th at Lake Norman Regional Medical Center in Mooresville. Services will be held at a later date, and Eggers Funeral Home of Cliffside will be serving the family of Marvin Edward Richard. Patricia Worley Margarita, age 76, passed away at Forsyth Medical Center December the 10th. Services will be held today at 4 o'clock at Bills Creek Baptist Church. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service, and Reverend Monica Childers will officiate. Burial will be private. Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of Patricia Worley Margarita. Richard J. Melson, age 84, of Rutherfordton, passed away December 14th at Hospice House of the Carolina Foothills. A memorial mass will be held at the Immaculate Conception Catholic Church in Forest City on Friday, December 17th at 12:10, with Father Herbert Burke and Deacon Andy Salone officiating. There will be no formal visitation. McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Services in charge of the arrangements for Richard J. Melson. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. For the complete information on these and others as they become available to us, be sure to tune in this morning at 11:35, and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon call-around report, the complete information on these deaths and others. Coming up in just a few moments, Bill O'Reilly Morning Update, Chronicles of the Old West, and we'll get to the phone to make our calls around the county. Let me remind you, though, that tomorrow morning at 10 minutes after 8 o'clock, the big news. Who's going to win the $8,000 or the $1,500 or the $500? We'll know in the morning. By 10 minutes after 8, we'll have that drawing live here on WCAB, on Facebook, and on our website. Right now, stand by for the Bill O'Reilly Morning Update here on WCAB's Morning Wake Up Call.
Bill O'Reilly here, and I'm warming up from the NRIA.net studios in New York. Stand by for the O'Reilly Update Morning Edition. Folks, I'm sure you've noticed everything's getting more expensive, and with all this printing of money, I'm concerned the dollar's end could be near. That's why it's never been more important to consider gold and silver. And American Hartford Gold is the only company I trust. So please call now and tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you for up to $1,500 of free silver on your first order. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. On this Thursday, I am being a bit introspective. My weakness is overreacting to certain things. I share that trait with Donald Trump and many other famous people. When you are used to success, criticism can be jarring. These days, much criticism is personal and blatantly dishonest because there's no truth police. Social media is a free fire zone full of emotionally disturbed miscreants who nurture their sadism by trying to destroy people. We all know what's going on, but many of us are afraid to criticize the internet gutter snipes for fear we'll become a target. When I first conceived the Trump History Tour, which you may have heard about, I knew the attacks were inevitable. The hate Trump movement is powerful and coordinated in the media. No way anything the former president does will be complimented. Nevertheless, I got testy when the lies began to roll in. Even though the tour has sold more than 30,000 tickets at premium prices for just 4 shows, the corrupt media reported underwhelming attendance. Total lie. And just a quick note to the ardent leftist Seth Meyers, who criticized the tour. We made more money in 4 days than you make in an entire year, bud. But again, I am overreacting. Someone stop me. But sometimes it's fun to overreact. Now this. Investors, are you sitting on capital or wanting to diversify? The NRIA Real Estate Development Fund provides returns right now. They capitalize on strategic markets. They offer steady monthly payouts plus double-digit annualized returns. Start your due diligence at nria.net or call 800-800-1414. That's easy. 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
Merry Christmas, everyone. This is Jim Bishop, and I'd like to take this time to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas. You know, I think we can never say Merry Christmas too much. Who else's birth has made such a difference in our lives? Around the world, people are celebrating this birth of the Christ child, and right here at home. Rejoice, a Savior is born.
Hello, this is Gilbert. I'm back on the air every Saturday from 8 to 9. Gilbert Talks Taxes because, as we all know, taxation with representation has not been such a good idea either. So put on a pot of coffee because I'll be talking about tax law, tax rules and changes, regulations, retirement, financial strategies, and of course, I'll be telling you how to handle the IRS. This is Gilbert. Listen to Gilbert Talks Taxes every Saturday morning from 8 to 9 right here, WCAB AM 590, FM 100.9.
The year was 1877. The date, approximately December 15th. Doc Holliday was hanging around Fort Griffin, Texas, picking up some money playing poker. One of the people at the table was gambler Ed Bailey. Ed wasn't doing well and was monkeying around with the deadwood, or discards for you city folk. Doc Holliday admonished him once or twice to play poker, which was a seasoned gambler's way of cautioning a friend to stop cheating. But Bailey persisted. Finally, a frustrated Holliday pulled the pot without showing his hand. Bailey then drew his pistol, and Holliday responded by jerking out his knife and cutting Bailey just below the brisket. In no time, Doc Holliday was sitting in the hotel lobby, guarded by the marshal and a couple of constables. Because Holliday was new in town and Bailey was well-liked, the gamblers were clamoring for Holliday's blood. In a short time, Doc's girlfriend, Big Nose Kate, heard about his situation. She went over to the hotel, and what she saw led her to believe Doc's life wasn't worth 10 minutes' purchase. Noticing a shed in the back of the hotel, she set fire to it. Taking her pistol and one she borrowed from a friend, she hammered on the back door and yelled, "Fire!" Everyone except the marshal and the constables rushed to put out the fire. Kate then walked in as bold as a lion, threw one of her pistols on the marshal, and handed the other to Doc Holliday. They immediately left town for Dodge City. Incidentally, Doc Holliday wisely decided not to ever go back to Fort Griffin. You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Jesse James Railroad Express has added 2 new sandwiches to their menu. Try the all-new crispy chicken sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise, or the crispy deluxe with lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, bacon, and cheese. And now, the new beer-battered fish sandwich. All come with sides. Enjoy a refreshing milkshake or a hand-dipped ice cream cone. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. Closed Wednesday and Sunday. Jesse James Railroad Express, 531 Railroad Avenue in Rutherford. Call 828-447-4644. Mondays only, hot dog with mustard, chili, and onions for only $1.24 each. All aboard the Jesse James Railroad Express.
Well, it's a good Thursday morning, everybody. Welcome. It's 16 now past 7 o'clock. It's time to wrap up the news here with our call-around report that's been on the air since about 55 years now and continues to grow in popularity. Let's go to the phones and talk with Sheriff Chris Francis. Good morning, Sheriff. How you doing?
I am well. Hope you are, Jim.
I'm doing well. Have you had your run in this morning?
I don't run on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I get the privilege of talking to Jim Bishop. I run on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And take Sunday off, and Tuesday and Thursday I get to talk to you.
Nothing wrong with that at all. I like that. What's on the report today?
I do too. It's a good break.
Yeah, I bet it is. What's on the report?
Jim, in the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 122 calls of service. There have been 16 arrests processed in the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 178. Among those arrested, Bryson Reed Green, 18-year-old male in Mooresboro, was charged with 3 counts of failure to appear and received a $500 secure bond. Austin Wayne Gibbons, 22-year-old male of Ellenboro, was charged with failure to appear and received a $5,000 secure bond. Allison Page Odell, 39-year-old female of Rutherford, was charged with felony failure to appear and received a $10,000 secure bond. Christopher Caleb Jones, 23-year-old male of Ellenboro, was charged with failure to appear and received a $1,000 secure bond. Ginger Elizabeth Gerald, 39-year-old female of High Point, was charged with 2 counts of felony failure to appear and received a $3,500 secure bond. Zachary Murray, 21-year-old male of Hendersonville, was charged on 5 true bills, also for Schedule 4 and marijuana paraphernalia, and he had been released on bond. Robert Allen Shelton, 49-year-old male of Mill Springs, was charged with 2 counts of failure to appear and received a $1,000 secure bond. Barbara Ann Blanton, 37-year-old female of Mooresboro, was charged with possession of Schedule 6 and paraphernalia, received a $1,000 unsecured bond. Javier Jose Athandor, 40-year-old male of Spindale, was charged with failure to comply non-support and received a $500 cash bond. Quincy Javaris Morris, 29-year-old male of Chesney, was charged with heroin and drug paraphernalia, received a $2,000 secure bond. Douglas Wade Melton, 45-year-old male, was charged with trespassing and injury to property, received a $1,000 secure bond. Kevin Wayne Bridges, 43-year-old male of Shelby, was charged with cyberstalking and received a $1,000 secure bond. Doyle Anthony Bezio, 47-year-old male of Caroline, was charged with possession of a firearm by felon, safecracking, breaking, entering, and larceny, and received a $75,000 secure bond. Among our incidents, we had a break and enter and larceny on US 221 South in Rutherford. It was to a storage unit. There was a MacBook Air Pro valued at $600 taken, a PS3 valued at $150 taken, a PS2 at $100 taken, comic books at $350 taken, as well as clothes and kitchen items. We also had a break and enter and larceny on Bills Creek Road in Lake Lure. This is where Doyle Desio was taken into custody, and there is a known second suspect that we are looking for in this particular. Mr. Desio was taken into custody at the scene of the crime. We also had obtained property by false pretense on Bluebird Terrace in Lake Lure. Someone had used the victim's account information on Walmart.com and had a $800 grill sent to their house in Reidsville, North Carolina. There's also a report done in Reidsville in this case as well. Jim, that's what we had to report today.
All right, Sheriff, I do appreciate the thoroughness of your report. Thanks for being with us on Tuesdays and Thursdays and having your team with us the rest of the week. Folks, look forward to hearing the report from the Sheriff's Department every morning on the report.
Thank you, sir.
I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 20 minutes after 7 o'clock and 911 Communications Center. Report next.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush, brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Here's Tina now reporting to us from 911 Communications Center with our Thursday morning report. Hi, Tina. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's on your report today?
In the past 24 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 433 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 51 for emergency medical services, 122 for the Sheriff's Office, 58 for Forest City, 7 for Lake Lure, 27 for Rutherfordton, and 39 for Spindale, and that's all we had.
Thanks, Tina. You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
Now let's see what the SDO Fire District has been up to in the past 24 hours or so. And Ruby Taylor is on the phone from over there to tell us. Good morning, Ruby.
Good morning.
What's on the report?
Well, the fire department didn't have any calls. They did. I didn't hear about it. On my birthday calendar, I got Jody Allen and Debbie Baynard having birthdays today, and hope they have a nice day. And the signs are in the arms today and tomorrow, and Jim, that's all I got.
Yeah, well, your Christmas decorations up already?
Jim, mine stays up year-round.
Well, that's smart.
No, my tree does, because I can't carry that thing from the building to the house.
Yeah.
It's in a room I don't use, so it's up.
It's up, and that's good. Well, you're already prepared. That's good. Some people wait till the last minute, and I'm one of them sometimes.
I ain't going to do that. When Harry was so sick and everything, and I couldn't, I just want to put it up. I said, well, it can stay up.
Yeah.
Now I'm too old to carry it back and forth from my building, and I just leave it up.
I don't blame you. Well, listen, you have a great Thursday, and I will see you back here tomorrow.
You too.
Thanks, Ruby.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Another season has come and gone, and you're still looking at that same sad-looking sofa or recliner. Well, now's the time to change the inside of your home to look as pretty as colors outside. And the perfect place to start is the Recliner Center. Right now at the Recliner Center, everything is 20% off. That's 20% off sofas, recliners, sofa recliners. If someone you love is having trouble standing, the Recliner Center has all lift chairs on sale for 10% off. All lift chairs, 10% off. Now, some of these chairs can take you from a standing position, then safely back down to a sitting position with no effort on your part whatsoever. Angela is cleaning out merchandise to make room for more. So now's your chance to redecorate your home and take advantage of the great savings at the Recliner Center. All lift chairs, 10% off. Everything else is 20% off. Angela is seeing folks by appointment only, so call 828-395-3562. Call her today. The Recliner Center. They're on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton.
We're checking in now up at the Fairfield Mountains Fire District, and Gary Wilson's up and out. I'm already on the phone with me this morning. Gary, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Jim. How you doing?
I'm doing good. For a Thursday, the weekend is getting closer and closer.
Closer and closer to that time where you're going to be ripping paper here before you know it.
That's right. What's on your report today?
So yeah, we're up here. We're quiet. We've had a quiet 24 hours up here in Bill Creek, Fairfield area, and things have been rather peaceful. About 40 degrees this morning, and we'll get about 70 today. So that's my kind of winter time. I'll take it anytime we can get it.
Yeah.
Everybody coming in, getting ready for Christmas, and get a lot of people traveling next week. So be careful on the roads, and give yourself plenty of time to get there, so you can enjoy your Christmas. Looking forward to it. It's that time of year I got here quicker than I thought it was going to get. It always lasts 2 or 3 months a year. Seems like it fly by. Next thing you know, it's another new year coming up.
I know it. It passes so fast, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. But at my age, I'll take every year I can get.
I'm with you, brother. I noticed the North Carolina Forest Service did release that burning ban for outdoor fires, so now folks are free to burn their leaves and things outside. But please be still cautious about that.
Be careful, though. Yeah, there's a lot of dead leaves out there, dry leaves out there, so be careful.
Yeah, that's good.
Make sure you got a water hose handy and burn small amounts at a time, and should be okay as long as we don't have some wind or anything.
Yeah. Well, Gary, I hope you have a wonderful.
I
hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.
All right, talk to you then.
See you now. Bye. That's Fairfield Mountains, Wills Creek Community Fire District with Gary Wilson, 26 past 7. Nobody gets a better deal than the customers at Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record of the best deals. Sisk Family Ford, Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealer, has recently been recognized as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. That speaks well of their commitment to serve their customers well. Look for all the new design 2021 F-150 at Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealership. That's Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City. And Bostic is our next stop on this Surround the County news reporting. And DeVern is on the phone. Good morning, DeVern. How are you?
I'm fine, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. Looking forward to Christmas.
Good. It's right around the corner, isn't it?
It sure is. I keep looking around that corner, and I haven't seen it just yet, but I know it's close.
Okay, over here in Boston, we have 39 degrees this morning, but I think we're supposed to have another nice day. The fire department had no calls, and we do appreciate our fire department in Boston. In Boston, Florist raffle tickets in December the 17th. Go by the Lincoln Center on Main Street. There's lots of history about Boston there at the Lincoln Center. Washburn store still has their Christmas candy. Today and tomorrow from 9 to 1, Washburn's Outreach is giving out boxes of food if you qualify for it. And come through Boston and see our lights. The little town's lit up real good. We thank our mayor and town council for all they do.
Good.
Hope everyone has a safe day.
Good. And the tickets there at Bostic, the raffle tickets, they probably need to clear that up today because the drawing is in the morning. So they can't wait till the morning to buy that ticket. If they got any left over there at Bostic Florist, they need to go ahead and do that today.
Yes, that's right.
And you have a wonderful day over there, DeVern, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye. And I want to give a big shout-out and a thank you to the Sunshine Church. They sent down a big load of food boxes that for the folks that need it. We're finding some places for those. But they're so generous up there at Sunshine Church. They brought them to us to give out to folks, and we will be doing that. And it's some courtesy of Food Line, of course. Food Line does a lot of this. And they are working together with our communities, and Sunshine Church sent down some. And you folks at Sunshine Church, you don't know how much we appreciate you and love you, so thank you so very much. To win in sports, you must adjust your strategy as the game changes. The same is true of investments. Why not let Andrew Tisdale, your Edward Jones financial advisor, help you create a game plan for financial success? Call 828-287-9197 and get started today. That's Andrew Tisdale at Edward Jones Financial Advisor, 828-287-9197. Well, it's 7:29. Let's go talk with Santa's advisor, the one who really advises Santa Claus on where to go and what to do, and that's Bob Hodge up at Hudlow Fire District. Bob, how you doing this morning?
Oh, we're doing just fine up here on this Thursday morning there.
Good.
And that sun's coming up. You're looking good over there this morning.
Well, thank you. I worked long and hard to make this appearance.
I bet you did. Well, everything's going along good up here this morning, and we're getting another minute or so more daylight time now. I think Monday was our shortest day of the year, so getting daylight a little longer now. So that'll be increasing on up to in June or something. There'll be the longest day of the year. So
yeah, something like it. 21st next Tuesday is the first day of winter.
Well, winter time will be coming up there in a few days there. So, but it feels more like spring over here than it does winter. So.
Yeah.
But we'll get back. We'll make up for it there yet. We got March to go through yet. So
that's true. That's true. And we're getting a lot of that March wind here lately. The wind's been very breezy here lately.
That's true. Sure is there. Well, with the fire department, Jim, it's been quiet overnight. Hadn't had any fire calls, and everything else going along good and quiet up here, and maybe it'll be quiet all day today. And so you just take care over there, and I'll talk to you in the morning.
I'll see you in the morning, Bob. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
And you can catch Bob most afternoons with the afternoon report as well. Well, I just got some good news from Washburn Store. Santa Claus is coming back. Yes, he'll be back Saturday, 11:30 until 1. Santa freed up some time to come back to Washburn Store. Had such a good time the other day. Now he's coming back on Saturday, so pass the word. And he'll be there 11:30 until 1 on Saturday at Washburn Store. Now, you know that you can buy a lot of great gifts, ideas different from all the other places when you shop at Washburn Store. You have one of those gift buckets, I guess you could call it, gift buckets prepared for somebody special. And you'll find all kinds of things you won't find anyplace else other than at Washburn General Store. So do some Christmas shopping with our friends. They'll make you feel real welcome. Every time you walk in the front door, you'll be greeted with smiles. That's Washburn Store between Bostic and Sunshine on the Bostic Sunshine Highway.
Cheryl, have you been to the Homeworks Design Center inside Henson Building Materials in Forest City?
Oh, yes. Shana, David, and William are incredible at designing kitchen and bath cabinetry for my new she shed.
Your what?
And they have a full line of windows and doors on display in their 5,000 square foot showroom. And they'll install any ones you pick out for me.
Oh, you're too good to me.
I know. With selling and installing, it's basically one-stop shopping.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street, Forest City.
Building starts here.
Now we're checking in with the Cherry Mountain Fire District. Sue Price, how you doing?
Good morning, Jim. I'm doing good. Hope you are.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Well, good. Got another pretty day coming up, looks like.
Yes.
But we enjoying these pretty days. Well, let's say I didn't have any calls from the fire department. I have one birthday, and it's on Fairview's calendar for Allison Brandel, so that's the only one I have on my calendars this morning. And in my announcements, the Christmas program on December 17th at 7 p.m. at Golden Valley Church, so that'll be coming right up. And then the Nuggets Creek Church will have a Christmas Eve candlelighting and carol service. And First Broad Baptist Church will have a Christmas Eve service at 10 p.m. And I believe that's the only ones I have left on my calendars. So still a few more Christmas programs and stuff going on. Get out and enjoy some of it. But it will give you a blessing. And the blood drive coming up at the Golden Valley Community Club. That's December the 20th from 3 to 7 p.m. So keep that in mind, all you donors, and come on out. All donors will receive a one blood blanket and a $20 e-gift card plus a wellness check. So come on out and give blood if you can. It's always needed. And as far as I know, that's the only announcements I have. It's just quiet and calm over this way, looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one, Jim.
Thanks, Sue. I appreciate the report, and I'll look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.
All right. Bye-bye.
Have a great day.
You too.
7:34 here at WCAB in beautiful downtown Whiteside Road, and we're reading 38 degrees according to Peter the meter reader, and we'll be back with our next phone call in just a moment. You know about the wonderful history of C.F. Reese & Son Company in Rutherfordton, 80 years of professional family-owned business. Now they're the new still dealer and open on Saturdays for your shopping convenience. Open 8 to 1 on Saturdays, so if you need a weed eater, leaf blower, chainsaw, or any of the other dependable Stihl products, come on by and make your choice. They have the new cordless tools from Stihl. Of course, C.F. Reese still does hydraulic hose repair and still your welding supply store. Do business with the family you know. C.F. Reese & Son Company, 832 North Main Street, Rutherfordton, now open on Saturdays. And remember, just 1 day away from right now, tomorrow morning, 10 minutes after 8 o'clock, the world will be listening and watching for the winner of the money from the Chamber of Commerce raffle tickets. We'll do that ticket drawing live right here in the Blue Room. It'll be on audio. It'll be on our website live streaming and also on Facebook live streaming, so the world should know when your name is called and your name is pulled out of that bucket. And we'll do that tomorrow morning. If you have not yet gotten your ticket, I think there are a few left, so you can come. I've got 2 here, and the Chamber of Commerce has a few left before tomorrow's drawing. It has to be drawn in today because they'll have to tally those up and rally and put them in a basket and to draw in the morning. So go ahead and need to do that. If you want to come by right now, we can take care of that for those 2 that I have left. And we might even talk to the Chamber of Commerce director. If he's got a few in his hand, he might be able to sell you a couple while he's here this morning. It's that kind of lifestyle right here. Happy, 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 and it's Christmas time. Then keep in mind also Christmas Eve, we will be drawing for the recliner from the Recliner Center. Those cards you mail in to us, we'll have a drawing on Christmas Eve morning, and somebody's going to win a beautiful leather recliner from the Recliner Center. All you got to do is get that Christmas card to us. You can mail it if you like to Post Office Box 511, Rutherfordton, 28139, wherever you are. Or if you want to hand bring it to us, that's fine as well. Just drop it off by here and bring it to us. We're trying to get in touch with Drop-In Family Grocery there in Bostic to find out what's going on with them. I know they're excited about Christmas and excited about breakfast. And we'll get to them and see if they can get to the phone here in just a moment. Right now, let's listen to Phyllis.
Merry Christmas. This is Phyllis with Loveless Financial Group. Now let's talk about, is this what Christmas is about? We're in the Advent season. The church is all decorated. Our homes look like Hallmark. Well, somewhat. We're planning our Christmas family dinner. Ask the family. They'll tell you exactly what they want. We used to have the same old thing every year. Then I started asking, what do you want? Well, guess what we're having? Enchiladas and sweet potato cobbler, and I'll make a pound cake. We're planning our church dinner and excited to have all my classmates coming over for high tea. Well, no hats this time. Now that's what Christmas is all about. With my busy schedule, there's one thing I won't forget, and that's my time with my precious Lord. My church time is more precious than ever. With Dan's illness and COVID, we have not been able to go to church in 18 months. And yesterday, when Alice started playing Beautiful Star of Bethlehem, I sat there thinking, now this is Christmas. And yes, like many others, I'll have an empty chair at my table. I'll miss my sweet Dan this Christmas, but I'm so thankful for 14 Christmas passes and love, laughter, and precious memories. Love and blessings to you and your family this Christmas from Loveless Financial Group. Al and I want to thank you for your love and support this last year and wish for you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. This is Phyllis saying bye for now.
Thank you, Phyllis. Phyllis always does such a great job with those. I appreciate her coming by and sharing that with us. It's 7:39. Drop-In Family Mart over in Boston. Busy this morning cooking breakfast for you. So if you're hungry, why don't you go have a good breakfast, sausage and egg, or gravy and biscuits, or bacon, or liver mush, or breakfast pizza. They got it all. Plus a fresh meat market back there, too. Have you noticed that? fresh meat. If they cook it, they'll slice it the way you fresh cut meat there. It's a great place to shop for a holiday Christmas grocery shopping. And they will carry you. If you're not able to carry your groceries, they'll take them out to your car for you. Or if you call ahead, they'll prepare that for you. Great personal service there to drop in Family Mart in Bostic, across from the post office there in Rutherford. So go by and see them this holiday. All right, we're heading up toward Shingle Hollow now. Tina White, how you doing this morning?
I am feeling mighty fine up here in Shingle Hollow this morning.
Well, I want to tell you how happy I was to meet you face-to-face yesterday. That was a real pleasure.
Yes, I feel like I've known you and met you a long, long time ago because I know who you are.
when I heard your voice and you walked out, I said, I know who that is. Your voice was recognizable.
It is. When I first started home health nursing, I would have patients that would say, I'd love to hear you talk. Would you say that again? And I would get so embarrassed because I have this very recognizable voice.
Well, I'm glad you're on the radio with us.
Well, thank you. I'm glad it's my pleasure. It's 39 degrees on my front porch. It's bright and shiny up here in Shingle Hollow. Fire department was all quiet. They had no calls. Piney Knob Baptist Church has Brian Roper Jr. on our birthday calendar today. Pilgrim's Way has Debbie Ashley, and there's nobody on Pleasant Grove. So I hope Brian Roper Jr. and Debbie Ashley have great birthdays today. Sunday, there's an adult Christmas play at Piney Knob Baptist Church at 6 p.m. Sunday morning, there's a children's Christmas program at Pilgrim's Way Baptist Church at 11 a.m., and then their adult Christmas play is at 7 on Christmas Eve. So lots of Christmas plays going on and Christmas programs. So people go out and visit different churches and watch them. I love it. I just love it. That's all we've got going on up here.
All right, Tina, I appreciate you very much. Thank you, and thanks for stopping by to see us. Stop by anytime. We always love to see you.
Okay, have a great day, and God bless you.
God bless you. And I'm glad your foot's getting better.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's Tina White reporting out of Shingle Hollow Fire District this morning. Let me just give you an update right quick while we're getting Brenda Calley on the phone. As you know, I've shared this information with your family for us, and we keep you in the circle of what's going on, and tell you how difficult it has been to work with this lady and her two boys that didn't have a place to live except in a camper, sleeping in a floor in the back of a camper on a pallet, no running water, and those kind of things. I won't go through that again, but we were able to get her placed, her family, her boys, in a nice warm motel, and the boys were so excited to be able to sleep in a bed for a change. And we appreciate all the folks that have contributed to this. Many of you sent to us money donations that we could help pay for those kind of things. And we were able to get her and the boys in a motel for at least 2 weeks, at least through Christmas. So they'll have a nice warm place with hot water, and the place serves a breakfast in the morning, so they have a free breakfast. So it's going to be nice for them and the boys, and we'll keep you posted. Hopefully in 2 weeks' time, maybe things will have pulled together and they can move forward with something a little more stable. But those boys are so excited about being able to lay down in a bed and pull the covers up open and sleep and have a little TV to watch and a bathroom they could go to. It's just really exciting. I'm real happy to be able to accommodate them, thanks to you, our listeners, who are the best people in the whole wide world. Or let's check in Union Mills category and see if Miss Callie has a report for us today. Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning, Jim. How are you on this tremendous Thursday morning?
I'm sitting on cloud 9.
Well, I'm glad. Don't fall off. No, don't fall off of that cloud. But we hope everybody's having a good morning. I've got 34 degrees on the front porch this morning. I don't have any birthdays or anniversaries. But I want to say, I just love it when Phyllis does a commercial. She just does some of the best commercials, and it's always so good to hear her voice. And I was sorry about the passing of her husband. When my sister and her husband was living, they were next door neighbors, and I got to see Phyllis and Dan a lot back in those days. But I don't get to see her no more. So,
yeah.
But I enjoy hearing from her.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. she's a fine person. In ways of announcements, Friday, December the 31st, ring in the new year with Union Mills Learning Center starting at 5 p.m. They'll have food available. The cost of the meal is $5. They'll have various bands beginning at 6 p.m. and going until, and there's no admission, but they do have a tip jar available for the band. And so far, I guess that's all I got going on that I know of.
All right, Brenda, I appreciate you being on with us, and I hope you've got things under control at the top of the hill there, and we'll check on you again tomorrow.
Okay, have a good one. Catch you later.
See you, Brenda. Bye-bye. That's the calendar report from Union Mills. We're going over to Ellenboro next.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
You know, you sound a lot like Luther Gilligan that walks the streets of Ellenboro. Would that be you?
No, because he walks streets to odd hours of the night.
Well, how you doing?
I'm doing great down here. It's a good morning down here. The sun's coming up. We're up. We're going to have a good time today. I got up, got my boots on, stand up. It's going to be a good day. But it's quiet out here. There's nothing going on. We're just getting our gas, biscuits, no not to work. See, the fire department only had one call. I had a medical call last night about 9 o'clock. Other than that, they've been quiet and nothing going on with them. So, Jim, you have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
I'll see you next time. Have a good one now.
All right, take care.
Bye. Well, that leaves us time for birthdays and anniversaries for the 16th day of December. December the 16th. If you're celebrating a birthday or anniversary, we'd love to give you a big shout-out this morning. So call us now at 287-3356. Todd's standing by out there. Don't disappoint him. Call your birthdays and anniversaries into us right now. 287-3356.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Shop like Santa this holiday season and stuff your stocking with savings from Bark Mobile. If your gift list calls for a new phone under the tree, how about a free LG Stylo 6 when you switch? Already got a phone that jingles your bells? Bring your own device and save $100. From unlimited data for just $35 per month per line with 2 lines on autopay to a $50 Fanatics e-code with the Unlimited Plus plan, nobody does holiday savings like Bark. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details or visit mybarkmobile.com/terms and conditions.
You know, nothing strikes fear in the hearts of people more than receiving an IRS audit letter in the mail. Audits take much time away from your business and family, requiring you to gather mounds of records, and can become overwhelming unless you have someone you can depend on to take care of that for you. That's why we can recommend IE Accounting and Tax Service. Chris and his team of professionals are in the business to help. Even if you depended on someone else to prepare your taxes, IE Accounting and Tax Service will be glad to assist you or your company. Don't hesitate to call. As a small business owner, you have more important things to do than keep your own books. Why not let IE Accounting and Tax Service take care of that for you, so you can get back to the job of running your business? Consider their payroll solutions for your business, cash flow management, litigation support, and forensic investigation. Why not give them a call and see what they can do for your business? Here's that phone number, 828-395-1777. They're at 211 West Main Street, Spindale. Again, that's 395-1777, and it's spelled ARYEE. Well, it's breakfast time at Granny B's in Spindale. They're doing breakfast now from 7 until 11, and what a breakfast it is. You'll be so pleased you decided to have breakfast with them. They got all the things you want for breakfast, the way you like it. Plus, you can always end it up with a delicious daylight donut. And if you like those subs, boy, they load that down for you. And Granny B's special pizza throughout today. It's a great place for any meal. You'll never be disappointed at Granny B's, located in Spindale, right beside the Shake Shop. Coming up next hour for just a few minutes, if I can convince the chamber director to fill himself up another cup of coffee, see if I can get an update on the ticket sales for the raffle. It's been going great, and we'll see if we got a few left for you to take advantage of this morning. If you'll hang around with me, I'll try to give him a free cup of coffee, if that'll work, and we'll find out who's having birthdays right now.
Happy birthday.
Todd Davis over in Spindale's having a birthday. He turns 51 today. Todd Davis, 51. Also birthdays today include your friend and my friend, Ludwig von Beethoven, born in 1770. He died in 1827. And Billy Gibbons, he was ZZ Top guitarist. He was born in 1949. Events on this day include the Boston Tea Party incident, 1773. 1913, Charlie Chaplin begins his film career, makes $150 a week. 1950, Shirley Temple announced his retirement from film at age 22. 1951, Dragnet appeared. Just the facts, ma'am, just the facts. 1962, Lawrence of Arabia premiered. And this is everybody's favorite day, National Chocolate Covered Anything Day. That'll work, that'll work, Todd. And now you're up to date on this date in history here on WCAB. Keys to Confident Living coming up next. And then on the flip side of the news, we'll see if we can get an update on ticket sales and news from here and there.
While on one of his expeditions to the Antarctic, Sir Ernest Shackleton was once compelled to leave some of his men on Elephant Island, with the intention of returning for them and carrying them back to England. But he was unavoidably delayed, and by the time that he could go for them, he found to his dismay that the sea had frozen over and his men were cut off. 3 times he tried to reach them, but his efforts ended in failure. Finally, in his last effort, he found a narrow channel through the ice. Guiding his small ship back to the island, he was delighted to find his men not only alive and well, but all prepared to get aboard. Soon they were on their way to safety and home. After the excitement ended, Sir Ernest inquired how it was that they were ready to get aboard so promptly. They told him that every morning their leader rolled up his sleeping bag saying, "Get your things ready, boys. The boss may come today." Don't put off until tomorrow the important things that you need to do today, such as the call to a friend, time with the children, patching up a broken relationship, or making plans for eternity. This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living. Scripts for today's Key to Confident Living are now available in book form by calling toll-free 1-888-333-KEYS. That number again, toll-free 1-888-333-KEYS.
The music's on us, WCAB.
And it's Christmas music until the holidays come, and then we'll go back into regular program. Well, I was able to steal Clark Poole just a few moments to give us an update on the tickets. We've been talking about the raffle tickets for some while now, and tomorrow's the big day, and we don't want you to be left out there. Just a few. I have a few left here. Clark, it's been a good campaign so far, hasn't it?
It's been a great campaign. People have been very supportive of what's been going on with the raffle and the chamber. People ask all the time, what are you going to do with this money? We're going to spend it, and we're going to spend it on the community, and we're going to be doing those things that draw attention to the good things that are happening in the county, and the support of all the citizens of this county are doing for one another. And so we have a few tickets left, and we're going to be concentrating today on getting those last little remnants. It's like it is every year. Yeah, I'm going to get one. Yeah, I'm going to get one. And then, dadgum, I meant to get one. Don't get left out today. Jim, I brought you a few more tickets because I know people have been calling you, and we have tickets at the office, and a couple of our board of directors may have 1 or 2 left, but give us a call. We'll sell you a ticket.
Get it done today because you'll need to close it out today so you can pull them all together?
Yes, we close it out. We tape the tickets up. We lock it up. We had a secret location in the morning at I think it's 8:10 here at WCAB. It'll be live streamed, and some lucky person's going to draw out a ticket that's going to be worth $8,000, and then somebody's going to draw out a ticket that's going to be worth $1,500, and then somebody else is going to draw out a ticket that's worth $500. But the most important thing that's being drawn out is our community supports one another in a very worthy cause.
Well said. Listen, I know you got to go to another meeting, and I know you're wrapping your career up here with the Chamber of Commerce. But before you do that, I want you to come back some morning, and we'll talk about the last 10 years you've been here, and we'll wrap things up. Will you do that?
Bring a big cup of coffee, and we'll do that. I look forward to it.
That sounds great. Clark Poole, ladies and gentlemen. And if you got a ticket, we got them right here. A few more tickets that he brought to me this morning. They've been selling pretty good through here, and I appreciate that very much. And I'll have a few more, so come on by. We'll take care of you.
Bay Area.
And if you do the math on that, if you have just a couple of percentage of the isolates being Omicron, very soon it's going to be the dominant variant.
Dr. Anthony Fauci with the numbers. ABC's Steve Osunsami is at the Centers for Disease Control in Atlanta.
Scientists at the CDC watching the spread of this new strain are reportedly discussing two possible futures: a possible peak in cases after the holidays by as soon as mid-January, and another moderate rise later in the spring. NYU and Princeton are a few of the universities already canceling year-end events like holiday parties in the name of safety. And at George Washington University in D.C. and at Cornell in New York, they're moving all final exams from in-person to online.
Canada is advising its citizens not to travel overseas. France restricting arrivals from Britain because there are so many cases there. More tornadoes in the Midwest overnight. ABC's Will Carr is in Heartland, Minnesota, an hour and a half south of Minneapolis.
The winds wreaking havoc across the Midwest. An outsider ABC station in Lincoln, Nebraska, wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. Oh my God. Police dash cam capturing the moment a tractor trailer loses control and topples over. Sparks fly as the truck goes careening off the highway. In Oklahoma, a semi-truck unable to navigate the high winds. The driver trapped for an hour before crews could free him.
President Biden and West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin said to be at odds over the Build Back Better plan. The Democrats had been hoping to pass a social spending package by Christmas. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell announcing the Fed plans to raise interest rates starting in 2022.
We understand that our actions affect communities, families, and businesses across the country.
The hope is that it will slow spending and thus lower the rising inflation rate. You're listening to ABC News.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug. It's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Concerns about the coronavirus have Britain's Queen Elizabeth changing her Christmas plans. ABC's Tom Rivers has a story from the Foreign Desk in London.
A Buckingham Palace source has confirmed the decision to call off the royal gathering at Windsor Castle, which comes amid the Omicron variant surge. The call said to be a precaution, as it could put too many people's Christmas arrangements at risk if it went ahead. Most years, the Queen invites her children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren to join her before she departs for her annual Christmas stay at Sandringham. Tom Rivers, ABC News, London.
Now the defense gets its turn to lay out a case in the sex trafficking trial of Jeffrey Epstein's associate, Ghislaine Maxwell. Details from ABC's Aaron Katersky.
After 10 days of government witness testimony against Ghislaine Maxwell, the jury will hear from her defense, which aims to discredit the accounts of 4 women who said Maxwell helped recruit and groom them for sexual abuse by Jeffrey Epstein. The defense is expected to ask an expert to testify about the frailty of memory. The defense also hopes to show the case against Maxwell was built with the help of the women's lawyers. The defense is convinced the women are motivated by money, and Maxwell is the victim of greedy plaintiffs' lawyers who help the accusers concoct their stories. Aaron Katersky, ABC News, New York.
The death penalty carried out 11 times across the country this year. That's the lowest since 1988, according to a new report from the Death Penalty Information Center. This is ABC News.
There's a confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. But one thing is for sure. Whether or not you're vaccinated, you need an accurate thermometer. Contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever, the leading sign of COVID and the flu. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Be vigilant and don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They have no scientific studies behind them and can miss the fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Hello and happy Thursday. For the day ahead, we'll see a mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky. It'll be a beautiful and warmer day with highs today in the mid to upper 60s and around 70. Partly cloudy sky and staying mild overnight tonight will be in the upper 40s and low 50s by Friday morning. Friday afternoon, we'll see a partly cloudy sky becoming mostly cloudy at times. Highs Friday in the upper 60s and low to mid 70s. We could see record warmth across the area Friday afternoon. Rain showers possible this weekend. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
Well, thank you very much, Zach. Good weather you're presenting to us here for this holiday shopping last week before Christmas. Christmas, of course, coming in next Friday, or next Saturday, actually. 25th is next Saturday. That's Christmas Day. Christmas Eve is 24th. And 24th is when we do the drawing for the recliner, courtesy of the Recliner Center. So get your cards in. And if I have a little time during this hour, we're going to read some of those cards, let you see what folks are wishing for in terms of Christmas music and any encouraging word they might be put a little, we'll sort of maybe pat ourselves on the back a little bit, but that's okay. We need to do that once in a while. And let's see, 37 degrees right now and warming up today to around 65, wind gusting to 13 miles per hour. As you heard Clark a moment ago, we have a few tickets left. He brought me a few more, so I've got a few left here this morning. If you want to stop by and get yours, it'd be great, and we'll have that drawing tomorrow morning. Right about this time, we'll be pulling things together here in the Blue Room. 10 minutes after 8, that's our point of schedule tomorrow morning. And hopefully it'll be broadcast around the world with our Facebook feed and our World Wide Web, www.wcab59.com. Many of you are watching this morning, and I look forward to seeing you on here tomorrow morning. And, of course, it'll be on both 100.9 FM and 590 AM, and we'd love for you to be in the drawing for that money to be given away. All right, let's see. I get excited this time of year. I just really get excited about Christmas and all the good things that are happening and how many of you are jumping in and helping with our family. I did tell you earlier, and I mentioned those of you who are just waking up, just getting up and tuning in or on your way to work or something. The Christmas family that we had chosen this year, we didn't realize it was going to be so complicated, but they are so much in need. Recommended to us by one of the schools in the county, and it's a mother. She has two boys, 7 and 11, and she's homeless, living in a camper of a friend or family member. I'm not sure of that connection, but that lady has some mental problems herself, and this young woman and her two sons sleeping in a back bedroom with no furniture in there, just sleeping on the floor on a pallet. No running water at all. The lady goes out to a creek behind the place and pulls water and warms it up for them to wash their face and hands and wash their hair from time to time. It's just a really, really terrible, terrible situation. It's a long, long history, and it's through no fault of this young lady. She's fell on hard times and trying to pull herself up, and she has so determined to do that, get those boys on the straight and narrow. And we're able to help them thanks to you. Many of you donated money to help. We tried to find an apartment here that we could put her up in for a while, or a home, or a house rather, to rent for a while and get her on a steadfast. Nothing was available. We searched every source we could possibly search. Nobody had a house to rent. Nobody had an apartment for rent. And they tell me that they're booked up for almost a year in some cases. I don't know. I don't. If I had an apartment, I don't have one. But if I had one and it was available, I certainly would offer it. But we checked for some of the churches. They didn't have anything. Salvation Army was not able to help us, neither here, Shelby, or Gastonia. So that's where we are. So there is a connection with her and her estranged mother, I think, but they're maybe trying to work it out where they get back together now. Her estranged mother lives over around the Gastonia area. So we was able to get a nice motel room for 2 weeks based on the monetary monies that you have donated. Now, I don't know what's going to happen after the 2 weeks. Hopefully, by the time she can get her mind off of sleeping on the floor and having those boys in a situation like that and get them sort of stabilized, maybe she can think about finding a job over that way temporarily. She doesn't have a driver's license. She doesn't have a high school education. She's had fell on hard times. Her mother, over the years, didn't have much to do with her, and she's living on her own since she's about 12 years old. So she's had a rough life, but she's so nice and so thankful and appreciative of what's being done. And those boys, I was so impressed when I met them that they were very well behaved, polite and friendly, and big smiles on their face in spite of having the way they're having to live. So we're to make a few steps. I say that to tell you to make a few steps forward, a few steps positive. It makes it worth all the effort, and it's been different. We don't have all the toys and all the things piled up here on the floor with wrap so they can wrap. We didn't do that because they had nowhere to put them, and we can't take them to the motel room and put them in there because anyway. To make a long story short, we got them squared away for a nice warm motel room, 2 big beds. The boys were so excited to know they get to sleep in a bed. They have not been able to do that for a while. And the mother was so excited to be able to lay down and sleep in a big bed, not on the floor, on a pallet, have hot water to take a bath and wash her hair, and have a warm breakfast to eat in the mornings. It's just quite elating to know that you've been a part of that, and I appreciate you so very much. One gentleman, I won't call his name because I didn't get permission to use his name, but he came in first thing when I brought about it, and he said, here's $1,000 I want you to put on this cause. I believe in what you're doing, and it really meant a lot to me. And we'll keep you updated as we go. We got some food boxes we're going to be distributing also to some folks who need that. And thanks to Sunshine Church, they were able to help us with that, and we'll get some of those distributed to folks that are in need as well. So you're like I've said many times, you're the best audience in the whole wide world. And we'll keep going. And we had a fellow came in just a moment ago, bought another raffle ticket from me. And we've got some folks called, said they heard us talking a while ago to Clark, and we will keep them as long as we've got them. We've got, I don't know, maybe 6 more in this envelope he brought me. So if you want to get yours, please sure to come by this morning before they're all gone. And tomorrow morning, right about this time, we should know who the winner is. We'll have that drawing live on this great and wonderful radio station, WCAB. Celebrating 55 years, by the way, this year. Yep, already working into our 56th year. Yeah, been amazing. I have not been here that long. I've been here about 35 of those, and doing the morning show about 30 of those, I guess, maybe 31 or 2 of those. Time passes so fast when you're having fun, and I'm having fun, and Butch is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be doing My Great America with Jim and Butch coming up a little after 9 o'clock. It's a great day, and I'm glad to be alive. I hope you are too.
Our biggest holiday deals are on now at Carolina West Wireless Keep On Giving event. Save $400 on the new iPhone 13 and iPhone 13 Pro when you sign up for select unlimited plans. Give the gift a better connection to everyone on your holiday shopping list with unlimited data that keeps on giving all year long. Just $35 a month per line for 4 lines. Receive a $100 Fanatic C code with any new activation on our premium unlimited plan. Hurry into Carolina West Wireless to celebrate deals that keep on giving. Certain restrictions or conditions may apply. See store for details or visit carolinawest.com/terms and conditions.
At Smith Drugs of Forest City, we are continue to offer the COVID-19 rapid testing and the COVID-19 vaccinations. Please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591 with any questions or concerns that you may have. You may also visit our website at smithsdrugsfc.com and schedule your COVID rapid 19 test or your vaccination. Again, if you have any questions, please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591.
It's that time again, time to get the flu vaccines. And Smith's Drugs in Forest City has the flu vaccinations available. Walk-ins Monday through Friday and Saturdays by appointment. And Smith's Drug is asking all their Dream Station and System 1 CPAP customers to call if you need any help with registering your recalled devices. Just call the Home Medical Department for any help or with questions at 828-245-4591. And Smith's Drugs has the Moderna and Pfizer initial shots and the boosters. They also have the flu vaccines, and November is Diabetes Month. Get 10% off diabetic socks for the month of November at Smith's Drugs of Forest City.
Well, let's look at some stories from here and there this morning on our segment of News from Here and There. We gleaned some stories from today's edition of the Daily Courier, and they're reporting that a new daytime basic law enforcement training, the BLET program, will begin in March of 2022 at Isothermal Community College. BLET is accredited by the North Carolina Justice Training and Standards Commission and is a required entry-level training program for anyone wishing to become a law enforcement officer in North Carolina. BLET consists of more than 660 classroom hours of training that provides the skill training to become a rookie law enforcement officer. Do you hear how many hours that is, folks? These folks are driving around these police cars and deputy cars. They've had some training. They're not just folks that decide to put on a uniform. 660 classroom hours of training that provides the skill training to become a rookie law enforcement officer. They have to have that before they can become one. So we need to appreciate them even more than we do. Not only do they put their lives on the line for us, but they've had a lot of training, and they're determined to make it happen. Philip Bailey, who is the BLET director at Isothermal, said law enforcement officers are in very high demand. All of the departments in the area and across the state are experiencing personnel shortages. There are a lot of reasons for that, retirement and the fact that it can be a challenging job that's not for everyone, end quote. Bailey said, with the challenges come great rewards. Quote, "You've got a front row seat to the greatest show on earth," said Bailey. "It's an exciting and fulfilling job. You experience very interesting situations and have a chance to help people every day." BLET covers 35 topics, including criminal law, ABC law, juvenile law, and laws of arrest, search and seizure, driver training, firearms, defensive tactics, and vehicle stops. A topic recently added is human trafficking, reflecting the growing problem of human slavery for sexual purposes. If you'd like to be a part of this BLET class, students who enter must also have a background free of any felony violations or serious misdemeanor offenses. A review of past convictions, both criminal and traffic, is conducted for each student who applies to enter BLET. It is not necessary that a student have a clean or unblemished record. Some offenses may be on a student's record but still make them eligible for admission. An application packet is available for pickup or mailing. Anyone wishing more information may call Brenda McFarland at 395-1668 or email at bmcfarland, that's Brenda McFarland, B. McFarland, at isothermal.ed, or Director Philip Bailey at 395-1448. Enrollment is limited, and an application packet is required to be completed and returned prior to the start of the training. So if you'd like to get into that, now's the opportunity. It starts in March of 2022. Multiple local police forces helped make Christmas more special for families this year through their annual Shop with the Cop program. The Rutherford County Sheriff's Office, the Rutherfordton Police Department, and the Forest City Police Department all held the events recently. Lake Lure Police Department gathered gifts and funds and delivered presents to students at Lake Lure Classical Academy who may not have been able to have a Christmas. In a post on Facebook, the Rutherfordton Police Department stated that it was able to provide gifts for 52 kids in need throughout the Rutherford community. And the Forest City Police Department and the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office also recently conducted their events. Both of those departments credited the partnership with United Way of Rutherford County and the Walmart in Forest City for helping make their Shop with the Cop events more successful. So there's a lot of good things going on. People out there are helping a lot of folks that you don't even necessarily know about. The Daily Courier is also reporting, Austin Bailey is reporting, that happy faces have filled the Rutherford County Senior Center over the last 2 weeks as local seniors have been able to return to the Senior Center, participating in activities with one another. The Senior Center reopened on December 1st after being closed since the beginning of August. There were several health and safety guidelines put in place with the health and well-being of participants and the staff in mind. According to Director Tammy Aldridge, everyone has followed those guidelines. Things are running very well, and the seniors are cooperating with our safety guidelines, and it makes my heart so happy to see our participants engage in conversation, games, exercise, and lunch. Most of all, it's the smiles we receive underneath those masks that makes our job so enjoyable. The Senior Center is open to participants from 7:30 a.m. until 4 o'clock p.m. 19 minutes past the hour, the Sheriff's Report with Sheriff Francis coming up here in just a few. When it comes to dependable and complete tire service, you know who to turn to, right? Turn to the professionals at Tri-City Tire Service in Forest City. Tri-City Tire is lots more than just a tire store. They carry river rock, brick chips, mulch, topsoil, pine straw, feed and seed, bagged corn, fertilizer, garden supplies, and now they have the popular Wolverine boot line for ladies and men. And if you need towing service, give Tri-City Tire a call at 828-287-8778. That's 287-8778, and they'll be right out there. Tri-City Tire Service, 221 Daniel Road, Forest City. Well, you can do yourself a favor and stop by Scrappy's Food and Fuel. Have you done that yet? I wish you would. If you'd like a great hot dog or hand-breaded chicken tenders and onion rings or a juicy hamburger, then your next stop should be Scrappy's Food and Fuel. Full breakfast is being served. Right now they serve breakfast Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. until 2 o'clock, Saturdays from 7 until 2. And they make their biscuits fresh and hot right there on the spot. Hot, handmade biscuits are ready at 6 a.m. You really need to check out their menu for other choices. The store is open till 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday for your favorite snacks and gasoline fill-ups. Scrappy's Food and Fuel is on the corner of Chase High Road and Highway 221, just below Floyd's Creek Baptist Church. Scrappy's Food and Fuel, locally owned and operated. Now here is Sheriff Chris Francis with our report.
Jim, in the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 122 calls of service. There have been 16 arrests processed in the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 178. Among those arrested, Bryson Reed Green, 18-year-old male in Mooresboro, was charged with 3 counts of failure to appear and received a $500 secure bond. Austin Wayne Gibbons, 22-year-old male of Ellenboro, was charged with failure to appear and received a $5,000 secure bond. Allison Page Odell, 39-year-old female Rutherford, was charged with felony failure to appear and received a $10,000 secure bond. Christopher Caleb Jones, 23-year-old male of Ellenboro, was charged with failure to appear and received a $1,000 secure bond. Ginger Elizabeth Gerald, 39-year-old female of High Point, was charged with 2 counts of felony failure to appear and received a $3,500 secure bond. Zachary Murray, 21-year-old male of Hendersonville, was charged on 5 true bills, also for Schedule 4 and marijuana paraphernalia, and he had been released on bond. Robert Allen Shelton, 49-year-old male of Mill Springs, for Schedule 6 and paraphernalia, received a $1,000 unsecured bond. However, Jose Athandor, 40-year-old male of Spindale, was charged with failure to comply non-support and received a $500 cash bond. Jaquincy Javaris Morris, 29-year-old male of Chesney, was charged with heroin and drug paraphernalia, received a $2,000 secure bond. Douglas Wade Melton, 45-year-old male, was charged with trespassing and injury to property, received a $1,000 secure bond. Kevin Wayne Bridges, 43-year-old male of Shelby, was charged with cyberstalking and received a $1,000 secure bond. Doyle Anthony Desio, 47-year-old male of Caroline, was charged with possession of a firearm by felon, safecracking, breaking and entering, and larceny, and received a $75,000 secure bond. Among our incidents, we had a break and enter and larceny on US 221 South in Rutherford. It was to a storage unit. There was a MacBook Air Pro valued at $600 taken, a PS3 valued at $150 taken, a PS2 at $100 taken, comic books at $350 taken, as well as clothes and kitchen items. We also had a break and enter and larceny on Bills Creek Road in Lake Lure. This is where Doyle Desio was taken into custody, and there is a known second suspect that we are looking for in this particular. Mr. Desio was taken into custody at the scene of the crime. We also had obtained property by false pretense on Bluebird Terrace in Lake Lure. Someone had used the victim's account information on Walmart.com and had a $800 grill sent to their house in Reidsville, North Carolina. There's also a report done in Reidsville in this case as well. Jim, that's what we had to report today.
Thank you, Sheriff. We also want to wish a happy birthday to Lisa Harmon of Spindale today. She's celebrating a birthday. Got into us a little bit late, but we want to wish her a happy birthday and many more happy returns. Now, Sports Update is coming up next. I'll be back on the flip side of that. We'll read some of our Christmas cards we've been getting in all straight ahead.
NCN Sports. Good morning. I'm Tony Rixby. Carolina Panthers quarterback Sam Darnold has returned to practice, although Coach Matt Rule says he plans to continue to play Cam Newton and P.J. Walker at quarterback against the Bills on Sunday. Darnold went on injured reserve on November 10th with a shoulder injury. Well, the Jaguars running out of patience with a decorated college coach. Here's Dave Ferry.
Gone in 13 games. Urban Meyer's first foray into NFL head coaching has ended with his dismissal by the Jaguars. Meyer's tumultuous tenure included an accumulation of missteps and a 2-11 record. Owner Shad Khan made the move just hours after ex-Jaguars player Josh Lambo told a Florida newspaper Meyer kicked him during practice in August. It was the latest embarrassment for the three-time national championship-winning college coach. Meyer joins Lou Holtz and Bobby Petrino as college coaches whose NFL careers flamed out in stunningly swift fashion. I'm Dave Ferry.
The Charlotte Hornets never trailed in a 131-115 victory over the San Antonio Spurs, deep in the heart of Texas. Coach James Borrego.
But we responded tonight. That was the goal here. And, Will, the goal is to really come out of this trip a better team. I don't know who will be healthy on Friday night. We'll figure it out. But if we play with the right spirit, the same attitude, the right mentality, the way we started this game, every one of these games is winnable.
Top 25 college basketball last night. Number 8 Arizona beat Northern Colorado 101-76. Number 10 Southern Cal over UCal Irvine 66-61, and number 22 Xavier turning back Morehead State 86-63. Cleveland State has canceled its game at number 2 Duke on Saturday as the team pauses activities due to COVID. The Blue Devils say they are pursuing a replacement game for this Saturday. You're listening to NCN Sports.
This flu season, keep yourself and your loved ones safe. Layer up for extra protection. Jacket, hat, gloves, and 2 vaccines. One for flu and the other for COVID-19. Both flu and COVID-19 vaccines provide layers of protection against severe illness, hospitalization, and death. Get a flu vaccine and a COVID-19 shot now for that extra layer of protection this winter. Go to myspot.nc.gov or call 1-888-675-4567.
North Carolina's veterans are in trouble. 1 in 4 have no access to affordable health insurance. These people risk their lives for us in Iraq and Afghanistan. Now it is time for us to honor them and their service. North Carolina, we can do right for our veterans. We can close the coverage gap and help those who served our nation get the care that they need and deserve. To learn more about closing the coverage gap, go to careforcarolina.com. That's care, the number 4, Carolina.com.
Las Vegas will host its first ever Super Bowl in 2024. The NFL announced its championship game will be held at Allegiant Stadium, which had been home to the Raiders since only 2020. Raiders owner Mark Davis expressed his excitement at a press conference Wednesday.
I'm just excited as all hell for the Raider organization and Raider Nation and Las Vegas and the state of Nevada as a whole. When you're not winning on the field, it's kind of nice to win off it sometimes. And today is a huge, huge win for all of us.
The 2024 Super Bowl was originally slated for New Orleans, but after the NFL added a 17th game to the schedule, the 2024 game ended up conflicting with the Crescent City's annual Mardi Gras celebration. Coming up tonight in the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs on the road in Los Angeles to play the Chargers. Tony Rixby, NCN Sports.
Hello and happy Thursday. For the day ahead, we'll see a mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky. It'll be a beautiful and warmer day with highs today in the mid to upper 60s and around 70. Partly cloudy sky and staying mild overnight tonight. Will be in the upper 40s and low 50s by Friday morning. Friday afternoon, we'll see a partly cloudy sky becoming mostly cloudy at times. Highs Friday in the upper 60s and low to mid 70s. We could see record warmth across the area Friday afternoon. Rain showers possible this weekend. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
Thanks very much, Zach. 39 is where we are right now. We started out at 38, dropped to 37, back up to 39, but we're climbing up to 65 for a daytime high. It's going to be a warm day. Breezy, though, gusting up to 13 miles per hour. The rain looks like Saturday night, maybe about a 50-50 chance, both of those time periods with rain, with temperatures staying around 70 during Saturday and 44 at night. Then Sunday is another beautiful day in the neighborhood with 56 degrees, our expected high. Dropping back to 28 on Sunday night, so that'll be back down into the freezing mode. On Saturday night, Sunday night rather, and then on Monday night it's 34, Tuesday night 34, And we'll watch it from that point on, see what Christmas Eve is going to look like. Because whatever the weather, it's going to be a bright Christmas for many of you, I know. Well, it's the popular Cozy Home Christmas Warehouse Sale. You've been hearing about this. If you have not been, you've missed it. New items arriving weekly, brand new collection of matching bath rugs, towel sets in many assorted colors, tons of new Christmas throw pillows, Christmas kitchen towels, bean bags. Everybody loves those bean bags for kids and big kids at heart. Bed pillows in all sizes, beautiful designer dishes and decor by the popular Biltmore collection. Christmas hours every Friday and Saturday. Fridays hours 10 to 4, Saturdays 9 to 2. Cozy Home Warehouse Sales. They're Duke Street, Forest City, right next door to Hinton Building Material. Do not let this one pass you by, folks. Well, let's see. I want to read a few of our cards that we've been getting in, and maybe I got some other stuff to talk to you about. But let me go through here some of these. Some of these have requested songs over the holidays. Some of them have not. Here's cards wishing you a very Merry Christmas and the happiest of New Year. And they want to be in the drawing for the recliner. They will do that. And this is from Ramona and Jamie Glover. Let's see who else we got here. Joy to the World is one of their favorite songs. This is Gary and Joyce White. Joy to the World is a favorite of many, I think. Our favorite Christmas song is Little Star of Bethlehem. This is from Faye and Norris White. And let's see. From Nevada, I'm not sure I'm reading that correct. They like Away in the Mangers and Merry Christmas to all of y'all. Merry Christmas from Jeremiah Earls. Oh, Come All You Faithful is his favorite. Hark the Herald Angels Sing is being requested from Tracy Brackett. All these cards, of course, will go in the drawing for the recliner. We'll do that on Christmas Eve morning. Travis Gurley wants to, and I've never heard of this one. Todd, maybe you've heard of this one. I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. Todd, have you ever heard of that song? Todd's not paying me any attention out there. Have you heard it? I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. Will you come back here and sing it for us? I don't know that one, but maybe we can search it out. Here's another. Somebody else wants All I Want for Christmas is My Two Front Teeth. We might get that one in for you. So these are some of the cards we're getting in. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year from Martha Thompson. Let's see who else we got. Sharon Lovelace, Johnny Lovelace. A lot of cards coming in already. Just send it to us, Post Office Box 511, Rutherfordton, or you can hand and carry it to us. Some of these have been brought to us personally. We love to see you, love to meet you, and chat with you a second. If I'm here, I would love to say hello to you. This favorite song is Joy to the World. They like that one. Okay, let's see. Here's they love all the Christmas music, they say. Harlan and Marie Turner. I know those nice folks. They're good people. All these folks are good people. Here's one they like by Elvis. I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I can't do it quite like he does. Wishing you a very Merry Christmas to Jim and staff. One of our favorite Christmas songs is All I Want for Christmas Is You by Vance and the Valets. So that's from Barry and Diane Holt. So that's some of them. We don't have time to read all of them, but just want to give you a share of how folks are getting those cards sent in to be in the drawing for the recliner, which we will do on Christmas Eve morning. Now, tomorrow morning, by now, you will have learned who won the money from the raffle that the Chamber's been sponsoring. It's been fun. We've got a few tickets left here at the studio. If you want to come by this morning, we'll have to send those back, what's left back in, unclaimed, unsold, and it possibly could be one you bought. If you buy it, we draw your name, you'll win either $8,000, $1,500, or $500. That'll happen tomorrow morning. All right, let's see some other things here before we move into everything else. In a few moments, I'm going to just stop talking and rest my old weary voice and get ready for My Great America, and then I'll play some Christmas music for you during this hour. But some of the things that we talk about from time to time is the vaccination, whether you should or shouldn't. I've never encouraged you to do it or not do it. I've never said don't do it. I've never said do it. That's your own call. That's your own decision to make, and the government shouldn't mandate that to you because everybody has their own reasons. So it's not. I don't think they ought to be mandating it. Tell you got to do this, or I'm gonna do this to you if you don't. I'm gonna take you out behind the barn and whip you if you don't get you. I don't believe in all that stuff. But there's a supermarket. I don't think we have one close by here. The Kroger food store. We don't have one close by. What's the closest? Charlotte, maybe. maybe Greenville, I'm not sure where they are, but it's America's largest food chain, employs roughly 465,000 people. They're stripping their unvaccinated workers of their benefits. Now, how fair is that, folks? They hired them based on the fact you become our employee this over a period of time. You've earned the right to have all these benefits. Now, if you don't do what we say on this vaccination, we're going to take all that away from you. Now, is that somehow or other that doesn't seem quite honest. But supermarket chain Kroger announced Tuesday it will eliminate paid emergency leave for unvaccinated employees who contract COVID-19, in addition to requiring some of them to pay a monthly $50 health insurance surcharge starting in 2022, according to the company's spokesman. The country's largest supermarket chain, which employs roughly 465,000 workers, issued an internal company memo announcing the changes, which will start on January the 1st. Kroger is tightening their COVID-19 related policies as U.S. businesses face uncertainty over President Joe Biden's recent federal vaccination mandate. A lot of folks are concerned over President Joe Biden's this uncertainty over Joe Biden's policies. But it doesn't mean Kroger should take something that you've earned the right to have because you agreed to it and come to work. Recent rules issued by the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, require all businesses with over 100 employees to require the COVID-19 vaccination or weekly testing. The administration of the vaccine to our associate has been an integral part of our efforts and continues to be a focus, the spokesperson for Kroger said. So there you go. I'm sure glad. I kind of wish we had a Kroger here, then that way I could boycott them and never go buy anything from them, because I don't think that's right. That's just my personal opinion now. I've been accused by a listener of saying that I'm should be held responsible for so many folks getting the COVID. I don't know how that it could be true, but I guess he's misunderstood some of my talk here, but I've never encouraged anybody to not take it. One of the two actors booted from the long-running daytime TV show. How many of you watched General Hospital? You know, I've never seen that show. I know it's there, but I've never watched it. I've never been a big soap opera fan. But the General Hospital, been a long-running TV soap opera and one of the two actors booted from the daytime TV show has been booted for not complying with a vaccine mandate. Ingo Rademacher, who played Jasper Jax on the show for nearly 25 years, has filed a lawsuit against ABC. Rademacher, who is represented by John W. Howard, says in the suit that he filed a request for a religious exemption. He said, quote, "I'm entitled to a religious exemption against mandatory vaccination for COVID-19 on the basis of my deeply and sincerely held moral belief that my body is endowed by my Creator with natural processes to protect me, and that his natural integrity cannot ethically be violated by the administration of artificially created copies of genetic material foreign to nature and experimental." Rademacher emailed Disney, which owns ABC, in a memo attached to the lawsuit. The lawsuit said that instead of granting the exemption, Rademacher was subjected to an interview that was more akin to a cross-examination. The suit uses that treatment as the foundation for its claim that rejecting Rademacher's religious exemption is religious discrimination. The lawsuit goes beyond Rademacher's case in discussing the vaccine mandate. The suit said this should not be a political issue. There is no need for everybody to get the COVID-19 shot, even if the president demands it, end quote. The suit noted that the political nature of the vaccine is such that multiple big-name Democrats, including Vice President Kamala Harris, said they would refuse to take a vaccine that was developed by funding used by the Trump administration. Remember that? If Trump put it out, I'm not taking it. Well, it's the same stuff, but now they're demanding everybody take it? I mean, go figure. The suit stated that President Joe Biden at one time opposed the vaccine mandates and was later upset that too few Americans were being vaccinated, adding that, quote, "many large corporations, wishing to please the presidents, started forcing the shots on their workers," end quote. Noting that COVID-19 can spread among vaccinated people, the suit said that many American politicians and business leaders have decided that injecting everybody with one of the COVID-19 shots is the only way to end the pandemic, end quote. ABC does not have the authority to force a medical treatment to its employees against their will, the lawsuit said. Steve Burton, another General Hospital star, said last month that he was also fired from General Hospital for not being vaccinated. Rademacher posted an Instagram video doubling down on his position. Quote, I think it should be a choice. If you want to go get the vaccine, get the vaccine. If you think it's going to protect you, that's great, but you should be able to make that choice, end quote. Continue to quote, I think we all need to fight this because I don't agree with vaccine mandates. Obviously, you already know that. I do not agree with corporations ever being able to mandate a vaccine to keep your job, to keep your livelihood, end quote. He said a vaccine mandate accounts to coercion, and that is not freedom of choice at all. So I'm really frustrated with what's going on in this world right now. That article appeared in the Western Journal. So they're even the Hollywood crowd getting upset with the mandates. So there you go. There you go. Well, one of the TV shows that I've liked over the years, and even today my grandkids love to watch it, and I know many of you watch it every day religiously on television, that's the Andy Griffith Show. Now, what a dad, huh? The estate of Betty Lynn, Thelma Lou, on the Andy Griffith Show is to be auctioned off pretty soon. The auction, comprised of 118 items, is scheduled to run from Friday at 8 a.m. until December 30th at noon. Items include a photo of Lynn and her on-screen boyfriend, Don Knotts, multiple sets of dinnerware, furniture, and various works of art. Lynn died after a brief illness in October at the age of 95. At the time of her death, she was living in Mount Airy, North Carolina. 1945, where she entertained the troops and visited injured servicemen. After the war, she returned to New York and caught the attention of Hollywood scouts. 20th Century Fox signed her to a multi-year contract. Lynn's character on the Andy Griffith Show was Barney Fife's girlfriend. She was in 26 episodes of the Andy Griffith Show, which were broadcast between 1961 and 1966 and spanned the show's first 6 seasons. So she is going to be, her property is going to be auctioned off. Betty Lynn, who played Thelma Lou. Now, Thelma Lou, it's Barney Fife's girlfriend. You remember her? A lot of folks still enjoy Andy Griffith Show. My boys do. My grandboys do. They think it's nothing like Barney Fife and, of course, Opie. They love Opie. All right, 18 minutes before 9 o'clock. Here's some important words.
'Twas the time of the holidays, and all through the house were to-do notes left by my loving spouse. The lights weren't hung, which she found problematic. They were still in a box, somewhere in the attic. Then home from the store, my wife did appear. North Carolina Education Lottery scratch-offs in hand, and I started to cheer. 6 holiday scratch-offs to choose, what fun. I flew through my list, and now I'm done. This holiday season need not be a chore, because holiday scratch-offs are the gift that could be so much more. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 2.95 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
For a delicious meal every day, call on Gregory's Original. Choose from their top menu of burgers, subs, grinders, pasta dishes, fresh salads, and so much more. All dishes are prepared fresh daily. Hours are Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. until 9 p.m., Saturday, noon until 9 p.m. Now at Gregory's, try the family-style meals. The dining room is now open, but curbside and takeout is still available. Enjoy lunch or dinner today with your favorite meal from Gregory's. Call 287-2171, located in the Park Lane Plaza in Rutherford's Gregory's Original.
Those of you who listen to this program on a regular basis know how adamantly I am opposed to abortion and how adamantly I'm opposed to the government enforcing that on us and making taxpayers pay for it when most of us don't agree with it. I happened to run across this the other day, and I saved it for a time but that I could use it. It's from Mike Huckabee, and we've talked about this particular point on the program. I don't think I ever quoted this particular verse, but it's from Jeremiah 1:5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. That's King James Version of that. So that's pretty adamant. I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. So if the baby is in the belly, then God must have formed that baby for a purpose to you somewhere in this great walk of life. But when we think it's okay to kill a baby, then we're defying the Bible. And we're telling God he made a mistake by letting that baby be born. All right, it's 8:45. Let's continue. You know, there is a lot of misleading information about Medicaid eligibility. The Arledge Law Firm would like for you to know the truth. For instance, if you need a nursing home, Medicaid will take your home. That's not true. Another one is, if you transfer assets, you have to wait 60 months to qualify. Again, not true. And this big one, if you're already in a nursing home, it's too late to protect your assets. Not true, not true, not true. Call attorneys Gerald N. Willis, Kent Baldwin, or Martin Gerard at the Arledge Law Firm and get free consultation and learn the truth. It's more likely than you think that you may qualify for nursing home care and not lose everything you own. It's worth a call to Arledge Law Firm at 287-3338, located on East Court Street in Rutherfordton.
Your first and last place to do your Christmas shopping will be at the Burnt Chimney in downtown Forest City. They have beautiful Christmas ideas for everybody. Unique handcrafted ideas, reloved furniture, new popular boho furniture, handcrafted jewelry and ornaments, gift baskets, and so much more. Most items are made by local artists right here in Rutherford County. Shop local this year. Shop at the Burnt Chimney Gifts and Decor in downtown Forest City. Give them a call at 828-803-2565. Merry Christmas from the Burnt Chimney Gifts and Decor.
Thanks, Lou. That's a great place to shop, by the way. Been in there, browsed it the other day. Boy, what a place. Go by there to 221, be Main Street South. It's on 221 South there below the ABC store in that neighborhood there. You can't miss it. It used to be a barbecue restaurant. Go by and see them and tell them you heard about them on the radio. That makes them smile real big. All right. Let's see. I'm going to make room here for some of the Christmas music. We're going to be playing these next few days, reminding you one more time before tomorrow morning that the drawing for the money is tomorrow morning at 10 minutes after 8 o'clock. Got a few tickets right here with me this morning in this radio station. If you want to stop by, get them before it closes out, before they sell the last one. I want to save 2 or 3 for you, so come on by. And remind you also to get those Christmas cards into us, and we'll do that drawing on the 24th on Christmas Eve morning. And we appreciate so very much all of you that are helping any way you can. Dan, we do. Thank you. And on behalf of the mother and the 2 sons, who were rested comfortably last night in a nice warm bed, and a hot bath, and a hot breakfast this morning, they say thank you. She called last night and, again, thanked you for what you're doing. All right, let's enjoy some Christmas music, and I'll be back on the flip side of 9 o'clock with Butch Malby and My Great America with Jim and Butch.
Hello, this is Gilbert. I'm back on the air every Saturday from 8 to 9. Gilbert Talks Taxes because, as we all know, taxation with representation has not been such a good idea.
WCAB Rutherfordton.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits rose last week, despite signs that the economy is rebounding from the pandemic. 206,000 people filed jobless claims, more than the previous week, but still low by historical standards. Omicron cases increasing sevenfold across the country in just the past week. The concern that we are on the verge of another surge.
Dr. Anthony Fauci on ABC's Good Morning America said the Omicron variant will soon be the dominant variant here in the U.S.
It has an extraordinary ability to transmit efficiently and spread.
President Biden's chief medical advisor said vaccination is still the key way to fight the pandemic.
Getting people who have been holding off about getting vaccinated absolutely need to get vaccinated. And importantly is boosters. People who have been fully vaccinated to get your booster when you become eligible.
Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
6 days after those vicious tornadoes ravaged numerous states, survivors are still picking through the rubble and studying the twisters themselves.
In the hours after the tornado swarm that ravaged parts of Kentucky, analysts from the National Weather Service at Paducah fanned out to study debris patterns and to photograph wind damage. After compiling the data, specialists estimate the peak winds of the twisters at 190 miles per hour, ranking the strongest tornadoes in EF4. It blazed a 128-mile-long trail across the Commonwealth, occasionally a mile wide. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Paducah, Kentucky.
Overnight, there was another line of storms across much of the Midwest. Nearly 500,000 customers are without power, and at least one person was killed. That's a sound in Tribune, Kansas, as a massive dust storm caused numerous traffic accidents and closed highways for a time. A powerful typhoon slamming into the southeastern Philippines, toppling trees, flooding roadways, knocking down power lines. 100,000 people evacuated. You're listening to ABC News.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug, it's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
The former head of McDonald's now paying the company back more than $100 million 2 years after he was fired. Steve Easterbrook was let go for misconduct involving an employee. At the time, he told the company it was only that one, so he was allowed to keep millions in benefits. When investigators revealed more relationships McDonald's sued, he had to give the money back. Nearly 60 years after the assassination of JFK, hundreds of confidential documents on Lee Harvey Oswald have been made public. ABC's Terry Moran.
Among the documents released, CIA memos discussing Lee Harvey Oswald's trips to the Soviet and Cuban embassies in Mexico City months before President Kennedy was killed. One of those CIA memos, written the day after the assassination, says Oswald communicated with an identified KGB officer while at the Soviet embassy that September. Oswald, who was married to a Russian, was trying to get visas to move to Russia.
And guess who's cashing in on his music catalog?
In a deal that apparently dwarfs the one struck by his idol Bob Dylan, Bruce Springsteen has reportedly sold his masters in music publishing to Sony. Billboard says the price was $500 million. That would make it the biggest payday so far for an individual musical body of work. The Dylan deal was said to be worth around $400 million. No word on the terms of the deal. For instance, when Neil Young sold a 50% stake in his catalog earlier this year, one of the stipulations was that his songs can't be used in ads. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
This is ABC News.
Millions of people use Zoom Phone, the innovative and feature-rich cloud phone system for businesses of any size. Zoom Phone is simple to use, whether you're on a mobile device, desktop, laptop, or desk phone. And because every call is important to your business, Zoom Phone was built with reliability in mind, using geographic redundancy to keep your communications online. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Visit zoom.com/phone system. Zoom, how the world connects.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Hello and happy Thursday. For the day ahead, we'll see a mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky. It'll be a beautiful and warmer day with highs today in the mid to upper 60s and around 70. Partly cloudy sky and staying mild overnight tonight. Will be in the upper 40s and low 50s by Friday morning. Friday afternoon, we'll see a partly cloudy sky becoming mostly cloudy at times. Highs Friday in the upper 60s and low to mid 70s. We could see record warmth across the area Friday afternoon. Rain showers possible this weekend. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
It has jumped up into the 40s now, 44 degrees. Started out at 38 this morning. We're up to 44 now, climbing all the way up to 65 for a daytime high today, with wind gusting to about 13 miles per hour. Another beautiful day in the neighborhood and another great getting up morning. It's 9:05.
It's time now for My Great America with Jim and Butch, a conversation about positive things about this great country. And now here are Jim and Butch.
Well, good morning, Butch.
Good morning, Jim.
I got to flip a few switches here, but I think everything's fine.
Yeah, you know what? You really, all the years you've been doing this, it's just almost second nature, isn't it?
I do it in my sleep almost sometimes.
Yeah, it's like when people, I always value the gift that God's given people that play the piano. They just sit down and then they play.
Oh, yes.
Well, that's like your piano.
Yeah. It is sometimes, and sometimes the pen just makes sour notes. Sometimes I hit the wrong button over here.
You seem really peaceful today, are you?
I am peaceful. Got our family located in a motel.
Great.
Yesterday, the family, the mother and 2 sons.
That is so good.
And they slept in the warm bed last night for the first time probably in months.
That is so good.
And I take a hot shower probably the first time in months.
You know what? When it says in Scripture it's more blessed to give than receive, that is a biblical, spiritual principle. When we get outside of ourselves, we're often taught this at my church that, we're called, we are our brother's keeper, we are our sister's keeper, and we're called to lay down our lives for others, Jim. And there's just something about doing that every single day of the year, hearing from God, doing His will, and making sure that in the process of all of it, we remember it's not about us, it's about Him. I had a wonderful conversation with Tony over there at Tony's Produce.
Yes,
of course, you've got a rich history there. You've got all kinds of history, Jim. I don't have enough years probably in my life to get the history that you have, but I do swing by. I've got a little cycle, and I do swing by, talk to Tony. He said he wants to advertise, by the way, in the spring, so
Good.
Here I am.
Look forward to it.
I'm reinforcing his commitment.
All right.
And that, but you know what happened? It was so sweet. I was looking around. You know what I found? This is for you and Faye. Granola, $4.50, made by Arthur, age 8.
How about that?
I love that. That's entrepreneurship, healthy eating, right there at Tony's. Granola, $4.50, made by Arthur, age 8. Now listen, Arthur is related to the daughter-in-law of Vi Summers. Vi Summers is part of the Mennonite community in Green Hill. And if you get there at the right time at the end of the week, there are incredible baked goods right there. And Tony will see me along with his family, and they'll say, here he is. Here's Butch. He's coming to get some of this. But I just thought that was such a great little story with his handwriting. Granola, $4.50, made by Arthur, age 8. And apparently he wants to do something nice for one of his teachers. And he's trying to start his own little business.
Entrepreneurship at work.
At work, which is very much a part of our great America. Now, Jim, in the morning, I know you have coffee, and I limit my intake, but I have coffee as well. I have it, I think, maybe a little stronger than you do.
I believe so, yes.
Oh, okay, but in any event, the United States is by far one of the largest coffee markets in the world by revenue. It's $80 billion a year. That's more than the entire economy for 100-plus countries in the world.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
That'll put things in perspective, folks, just about America. Americans consume over 400 million cups of coffee per day. And on average, about 250 cups of espresso and coffee drinks are sold per day at almost any drive-through business that sells coffee with a great location.
Wow. That is a lot of coffee.
It is.
Makes me want to have a drink.
Well, no, we're called to do things like that in moderation. And then, Jim, as I was having my coffee this morning, I was looking at the journal, the red journal of my great-grandfather.
I love it.
Here's what he was doing. I've had some people that told me that they appreciate this. Here's what he was doing on December 16th, 1898, up in New Hampshire where they lived. Fair and not so cold today, up from 0 to 34 above. I dug and filled a grave for the remains of Charles D. French in the village cemetery and tried to be helpful to his wife.
Wow.
Went directly after that to dinner with the wife. Then fired up the stove for the Women's Auxiliary Missionary Society. After 8 p.m., wife and I decided to go to the village the next morning. She went to Center's store recently and bought the things that we need. Saw Tom Burns, hadn't seen him in a while, bought some molasses, came home and sawed wood.
Hey, busy man, I love him.
You know what? I don't know what part of him, of course we all have families and legacies, I don't know what part of my boompa is in me, but there's some part of him.
That drive, for sure.
Well, I want to be led, not driven, but I sure appreciate this little red book, and that's what he was doing on this day in 1890.
That's very interesting.
1898, Jim. We were talking about Max Bergen. Today's going to be kind of, they call it a potpourri, kind of this and that.
Yes.
Touching on things, but the consistent theme through all of it always ought to be, what is God telling us for today, and what is Scripture telling us? It says in Scripture, His Word is a lamp unto our feet and a light unto our path. In a sea of opinions with people that are just torn from one side of the road to the other, there's something so anchoring, there's something so fulfilling, and a peace that passes understanding when we come to understand what Jesus says about things. But we were talking briefly about Max Bergen, and I guess he won many honors during his more than 30, and he's a local resident here, of course. He's probably in his 90s.
I think so.
Yeah. He won many honors during his more than 30 years as a U.S. Army chaplain. He was a Baptist pastor. He was twice awarded the Legion of Merit. He was also named Chaplain of the Year on one occasion. Grew up Wesleyan, became a Southern Baptist. He earned the Heritage Award from the North Carolina Baptist Convention and Alumni of the Year from Mars Hill University, where he also served as a trustee. My friend Pat Jobe has written a little book that I want to commend to you, titled, It's About Jesus, It's Not About Max Bergen, and A Brief History of the Church of the Exceptional, which is out there in Henrietta. If it's okay, I want to just read a couple of little excerpts because they're very inspiring, and I want to encourage you to go and get the book.
I have a copy.
Yes. So Max Bergen, this is from the book, genuinely believes in a Jesus who can transform your life. And you know what? I do too.
Yes, I do too.
We sing a song, I'm a life that has been changed. And that's me, Jim, certainly. Maybe you don't think your life needs transforming. If not, please read on just for the fun of it. This is from the book. You might like it, but if you are turned off by traditional Christianity, I would call that false religion. You might find here some stories that would open your heart to what is going right in the Christian walk and world. Bergen would argue that whatever turned you off to Jesus was just a wrong presentation. Maybe it was abuse, you got hurt, but whatever it was, there is a Jesus waiting in your heart to forgive your sins and introduce you to the life of the Spirit. If you're already a Bible-believing, amen-saying, Lord-praising Christian, you still might find some new juice for the journey. That's the way Pat writes. Come, listen to the stories, find some joy, some things to think about. That's an excerpt from the book. And here's an excerpt from, it's actually two great stories, Matty Lackey and Max Bergen. Here's an excerpt from the other part of the book. Matty Lackey said, we never had much money, and we worked hard for every bit of it. This is at Church of the Exceptional in Henrietta. It was a lot of hard work, prayer, and giving God the glory every step of the way. One example of the shoestring budget that sustained the church is a financial statement from 1980. Balance in the checking account was $303.13. Balance in the savings for the land fund was $4,978.78. From this kind of cash position, the church provided transportation, snacks, paid utilities, and an occasional honorarium for a guest speaker, maintained 2 buildings and grounds. The finances were a constant challenge and often felt like miracles. Nathan Ward, a member of the Mount Pleasant Baptist Church in Sandy Mush, made a real effort at raising money for the church in 2000. While the choir never made a specific request for an honorarium when helping lead worship for other local congregations, members would sometimes carry a plastic milk jug and ask worshipers to fill the jug with pennies. In 2000, Nathan Ward took one of those jugs when he was 6 years old and filled it with $250. He passed it among family members, neighbors, and congregants at Mount Pleasant. He also made a second pass with another empty jug. Maddie says the church was primarily funded by prayer, but their prayers were often answered with jugs of pennies, jars of pennies. We sometimes even had a van almost full of jugs and jars of pennies. Church is now 47 years old. It's the oldest such congregation in the United States, specifically aimed at helping disabled and mentally challenged people. Of course, they're right there in Caroline, Box 46, Caroline, North Carolina, 28019.
It's an amazing church. If you've never been to one of their services, everybody should go one time. If you don't receive a blessing, you're dead.
Okay.
It's a really remarkable thing. Maddie Lackey is one of those folks I admire greatly. Matter of fact, I had the privilege of nominating her one year at the Chamber of Commerce award presented by Duke Energy as a Citizen of the Year because of the work she does. And she brought that church, she and along with help of others, brought that church to where it is today. And she has a heart for it. She loves it. And she's so such a delightful person to know.
Well, and you know what, Jim? In a world, in a culture, in an America that unfortunately has been seduced by so many stories about movie stars and their marriages and sports athletes and who overdosed on drugs and people going public to People magazine about their postpartum depression or this, that, and the other. The reality is life is lived in the trenches. Mm-hmm. Real life is lived in the trenches. And I love it when I'm around people where you sense in your spirit there's just authenticity. They're authentic people. It's one of the reasons why I value our friendship so much is because there's not pretension. Mm-hmm. And God hasn't called us to preen around like show chickens. That's not what he's called us to do. He's called us to live a life where we speak truly, we live truly, and we love without consideration for people loving back. There are hard sayings in Scripture that you don't hear preached about much, like do good to those who despitefully use you. Mm-hmm. I mean, Jesus said that. That's a command. That's not a, hey, if you get around to it. It's a command. And so I love the fact that Pat has penned this book. I just want to make sure if you're motivated to be encouraged by what God can do through simple people, which we're all called to be, it's on sale. The book is on sale at Amazon, Smith's Drugs, and Next Door Books in Forest City. I haven't been to Next Door Books in Forest City. Have you?
I have, yes. It's a lot of used books, a lot of old books, and people that love to read those kind of things. It's a great little store.
I need to remember, Jim, that if I ask you if you've been somewhere in the county here, it's going to be the rare case, I think, that you haven't traversed it at some point. You know what I also want to... So folks, go pick it up at Amazon, Smith's Drugs, Next Door Books in Forest City. At my dear friend... Dear and unlikely friend, according to some, Pat Joe, wrote the book, and it's a wonderful, wonderful book that will encourage you, and also go buy Tony's. And I don't know if Arthur is refilling his stock there, but you'll be so encouraged just to see that little arrangement of that granola right as you walk in the front door.
Can I back up just a moment to the Church of the Exceptional?
Yes.
I know that Maddie always needs new volunteers.
Yeah.
They need bus drivers on Sunday morning, van drivers on Sunday morning. They need folks to help them in church, to help to manipulate some of the folks who have difficulty getting around. So anybody that has some time on Sunday mornings, particularly Sunday mornings, volunteer to help, maybe drive a van or just help them inside the church, because it's a really a service of love. You do it because you love it and you love people and love what they're doing. Faye, my wife, has the privilege of serving on the board for Church of the Exceptional.
I didn't know that.
She sure does, and she loves that work too. So.
That is so good, Jim. That is so good, and good for Faye for making those kinds of time commitments. If you want to help out, folks, it's just Church of the Exceptional, Box 46, Caroline, North Carolina, 28019. And you know what? When Scripture says, inasmuch as you've done it to the least of these, you've done it unto me, we've got to remember, by the way, Jim, I know that this is your heart as well. God's economy is not man's economy. If you want to be first, you need to be last. If you want to be greatest in God's kingdom, you need to be committed to serve. Be willing to be the least. I think it's the book of James where it talks about, don't get all enamored and preoccupied with the rich person that comes into your fellowship to give them the front seat. We need to remember that when Jesus, God's only Son, came to this earth, it was not to reinforce the status quo. It was to change everything. And, I was sharing with somebody recently, the gospel is the greatest news that humanity's ever had. And the God of the universe, who made all things in a universe that is still expanding, the God of the universe knew that because of Adam and Eve's sin came into the world, and we were all born with a sin nature. But God said, I'm going to send my Son, and my Son is going to be that bridge. As people, by faith and trust and obedience, pursued a relationship with God, Jesus was the bridge, the mediator, the high priest. And so the story of the gospel is a story of repentance, of trust, of obedience. And as we do that, we walk with Jesus and we grow more like him. And I believe it's Philippians 1:6 that says that I'm confident, the Apostle Paul, that the work that he started with me, he will complete until the day of his coming. Now, you have to have the born-again experience. You need to be born again for that work to be completed. And it's more than raising your hand like I used to do every summer camp. I throw a stick in the fire and accept Jesus again. That's not being born again. But if you're born again, and if your heart is to pursue with all of your being a relationship with God through his Son, Jesus, he's promised to continue to do the work until the day of his coming, until he comes back or he takes us home. And Jim, I've learned, because of the particular devils I've had to deal with in my life, one of them is the devil of making things complicated. I've told people before, from the 8th grade through college and then on as a college professor in my early 20s. I was 23 when I was appointed as a professor at Bethel University in the Twin Cities while I was working on a PhD program. All of that, all of the books that I've read and all of the study and the schooling, I used to love to go to school. I couldn't wait to get into class, to take tests and do all of that. That's not normal. And some of that really took me over. And so I'm so grateful as we end a year and we start a new year. I'm grateful that God continues to obliterate a lot of the foundations in me that he needs to change so that he can reinforce the good things that he can do in my life. But there's nothing good that we do on our own. The only thing that's good is what God does through us. And I was reminded, just real quickly, I shared this with someone recently at our church. If you keep seeing cracks in the wall, you can just spackle it, keep spackling it and painting over it, or you can ask the seminal question. The most important question is, where is the foundation not right? And the foundation for Butch Maltby was not right. And so God's been burrowing deep in there. And it's not just becoming a Republican. I have some people that are more excited, I have to tell you this, about the fact that I became a Republican than God's working on my heart. That's completely reversed. The reason I'm a Republican is not because of political persuasion on somebody's heart. The reason I'm a Republican is because God apprehended my heart and my life and said, you have been an architect of the synagogue of Satan, and you need to get your heart right because you've been helping people feel indifference or that it's okay to live in the gray when it's not. And you so ably articulate every single morning, Jim, that we've got broad roads and narrow roads. We've got black and we've got white. And I was just swimming laps in the swimming pool that you could have called good Lord, good devil. If it's good for you, it's okay. If it's good for me, it's okay. And that is not what God's word says. That's my sermon in me.
You have that desire though to do what the Lord wants you to do, and you're striving every day to find that purpose, and you're moving in that direction. And I see that, and I admire you for it. I pray for you.
Thank you. I need prayer, and we all need to learn what God's will is for our life. The only thing that's important is not our opinion, it's not our passion. The only thing that's important in our life is what God has called us to. And you know what? When we started My Great America, Jim, and by the way, I've had some people that told me I regressed on my hitting the desk.
You've done well today.
Okay, thank you. But you know what? We learn in our community of faith that we take hold of each other. And so if you see me go to hit the desk, you have 100% freedom always to tell me, Butch, don't do that. Okay? But you know, the thing, when we started My Great America, it was done with a motivation in part to remind people of our foundation biblically as a nation. And I read this recently, and it was so good. We all know the name John Hancock.
Yes.
Yeah, and we're told, by the way, it's anecdotal, it may be apocryphal, I don't know, but we're told that the reason he wrote his name so big is he wanted King George to be able to see it without his spectacles. But to celebrate the victorious conclusion of the Revolutionary War, Governor John Hancock of Massachusetts issued a proclamation for a day of Thanksgiving on December 11th, 1783. This is what he wrote. This is one of the founders of our country. Whereas the United States are not only happily rescued from the danger and calamities to which they have been so long exposed, but their freedom, sovereignty, and independence ultimately acknowledged. And whereas the interposition of divine providence in our favor hath been most abundantly and most graciously manifested, and the citizens of these United States have every reason for praise and gratitude to the God of their salvation. It's a founder of our nation. Impressed, therefore, with an exalted sense of the blessings by which we are surrounded, and of our entire dependence on that almighty being from whose goodness and bounty they are derived, I do by, and with the advice of the council, appoint Thursday, the 11th day of December, next, the day recommended by the Congress to all the states to be religiously observed as a day of thanksgiving and prayer, that all the people may then assemble to celebrate that God, hath been pleased to continue to us the light of the blessed gospel, that we also offer up fervent supplications to cause pure religion and virtue to flourish and to fill the world with his glory.
Oh, that's great.
John Hancock. And so I just want to say this. Every single one of you that's a history teacher that was educated in some liberal institution that taught you how to take Lysol and a brush and try to scour out American history, we are not going to let that happen. We're going to keep banging the drum metaphorically and reinforcing that the United States of America, this incredible democracy, this republic that has the fingerprints of God on it, it is, in fact, as we mentioned in the last program, a light to the world. And we're not going to let that be snuffed out by people that are reckless with our history, indifferent about God, and have no sense of divine destiny. God has a plan for this country, but the plan starts with each one of us. We've got to get our hearts right, and as we do that, it will change our nation, and that will change the world.
And through the leadership of parents and grandparents who have kids in school to make sure their student is being taught those kind of things. And I'm impressed every time you bring one of those up, and because if I knew it, I had forgotten how many of those great historical leaders put their faith in God and formed a nation based on that.
Right.
And we're losing that. I want to see that brought back out, and I appreciate you bringing it forward.
Why are so many countries around the world, when they have revolutions or coups and they want to have a constitution, why do they come to us for constitutional consultation?
Yeah.
Which often is the case. They come to us because it's a nation and a land that God's blessing is so bountifully upon. We're going to end with a scripture. I try to read a Proverbs or a psalm every day. Proverbs 2, verse 6 says, "For the Lord gives skillful and godly wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He stores away sound wisdom for the righteous, those who are in right standing with him. He is a shield to those who walk in integrity. those of honorable character and moral courage. And Jim, that's our prayer today. We want to walk uprightly and with integrity as God gives us the grace and the power to do it. And that's how we make a great Rutherford County, and that's how we make a great America.
Great America. It's amazing how fast this time goes. But I'll see you next week. Have a blessed weekend.
See you next week, Jim.
Thank you for joining us for My Great America with Jim and Butch. Join us each Tuesday and Thursday morning at 9:05 for this enlightening program on 100.9 FM and 590 AM. It's My Great America with Jim and Butch.